Before we start this episode of the Sports Minorities, we just want to have a moment of silence for Lavelle Davis Jr., Deshaun Perry, and Devin Chandler, the three University of Virginia football players that were killed this past weekend. Our thoughts and prayers to the entire University of Virginia community and to the family and friends of the victims. May they rest in peace. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Minorities Podcast. Your home for not-so-expert analysis, plenty of shit-talking, and trying to figure out what the hell happened this past weekend in the NFL. I'm your host, JC, your resident Titans fan. Joining me, as always, are...
Your Lord and Savior, Chicken Wing.
I cannot believe Josh McDaniels is still a head coach. I just can't believe it. Can't fucking believe it. And this is Nori, by the way, because I'm your favorite. So.
Good evening, DJ here, and I think I need to clarify what Mark Davis was saying regarding Josh McDaniels. See, Mark Davis said he believes Josh McDaniels is doing a fantastic job, but that was taken out of context. What he should have said is Josh McDaniels is doing a fantastic job of tanking, which is what the Raiders are trying to do. So I just wanted to clear that all up.
Makes sense. And that's a great way of saying, well, we paid him too much money and we can't afford to let him go and sign somebody else, right? So
and then being cash poor, and you're a billionaire. I'm sorry, if you're a white billionaire saying you're cash poor, like you're just insulting everybody at this point. Sorry, dude.
Who's done a worse job at this point in their coaching career? Would it have been Josh McDaniels or Urban Meyer?
Yes. Oh wait, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like Peach's answer. Just yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Sold. Whatever we're buying, sold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rob, I think he may still be jet lagged since his Bucs were in Germany this past weekend. Supposed to join us for the bye-week report card, but sometimes you just fall asleep and stuff. So hopefully he wakes up in time to join us. It's kind of an important segment for him. Yeah. But he also did attend the USFL championship match between SAFC and I believe it was City of Louisville, where SAFC won their first soccer championship, which is pretty damn awesome. So, and the celebration was actually yesterday evening on the Riverwalk, and some of the players jumped in and everything. So, saw a lot of the highlights. The crowd was hype, and I definitely want to try and make it to a game for sure in the coming future. So, today we're going to recap Week 10 of the NFL season, how we did. If Rob wakes up, we'll see if he can give us a bye-week report card on the Bucs. If not, we're just going to have to come up with that ourselves. And then we'll make our Week 11 predictions for this season. So, how do we do in Week 10? Well, Nori won the week going 7-7. Meanwhile, the rest of us all went 6-8. This was by far the worst week for picks-wise for all of us. It was a rough one. A lot of upsets. A lot of things we just didn't see coming here. So, overall standings, I'm still in the lead with 91 correct picks. Rob and Nori are tied for second with 87 correct. Chickawing in fourth at 85, and DJ with 84 picks correct. So, now, Nori, I feel like there's a lot to choose from here. Anything you regret or anything that really surprised you from this past week in the NFL season?
I regret not going with my gut on Tampa Bay and Seattle. That is definitely by far my biggest regret. I kind of regret not believing the Lions a little bit, but the Seahawks were playing kind of good. But Tom Brady is just a new man that now that he's just completely disowned his family, he's just playing fantastic football. Like he's probably not going to talk to his kids until they're in high school. So yeah, no, I regret that. Like focused Tom is a different Tom. And I do regret that pick very much so.
Anything that really surprised you this week?
The Washington Commanders beating the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
I remember saying in the podcast last week that the Panthers. Oh my God, the Cardinals were like 8-0 last year before they collapsed, and now this is the 8-0 mark for the Eagles that just lost. I didn't think they're going undefeated. I just didn't see Washington beating the team to dethrone them. But I think Heineke should have been the starting quarterback. I think Washington is not as bad as their record. I've been saying that all season. Even without Chase Young, who they're getting back next week, which is crazy, their defense should have been a lot better than it was. And I think now they're finally starting to wake up because they did a fantastic job on A.J. Brown, not letting him breathe. Like, I had a fantasy, so I can tell you, 1 catch for 7 yards. That is phenomenal. And that's how you, and I think they just made the blueprint how you beat that team because they were good team. They were a good team with Devonta Smith, their running backs, their defense. They improved significantly a lot of things. But when they added A.J. Brown, he was the bailout. You shut down the bailout, that team's in trouble. So I don't know if it's a blueprint or it was just a bad game for the Eagles, but I'm very, very, very surprised by that. I did not see that coming at all.
Hey, I didn't either, but Washington is a different team under Taylor Heineke. Just straight up. They just I feel like anyone's a different team when they get rid of Carson Wentz and go on to the next guy, right?
That's a fact.
But yeah,
I'm a little surprised about Packers beating Dallas because like the Packers have been playing like shit, but this is the Packers that should have been there since week 1. So it's like, as much as I talk shit about it, like, I'm not as surprised as I am with the Eagles.
I think I mentioned it last week too. For whatever reason, Aaron Rodgers has Dallas's number, and I thought maybe this might be the year Dallas breaks it. And I'm at a point right now where I was like, you know what, I'm going to stick with historical trends at this point. Because I didn't pick Tampa, and I forgot that Tom Brady is undefeated in international games because he's away from his family, right? For whatever reason, Aaron Rodgers just owns the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm sure he wanted to stick it to Mike McCarthy coming back into Lambeau, right? But yeah, then DJ, you said it. The Dallas run defense is horrible. And that was really showcased in that fourth quarter. Washington beating Philly. I've said it before. I was waiting. At some point, the Philly collapse is going to start. And like you said, Nori, they gave a blueprint on how to cover A.J. Brown here and really shut that down. So teams are going to take note. I'm kind of glad I trusted my gut and not changed my pick from Minnesota to Buffalo. Even though Josh Allen played, I just like, you know what? It's not a primetime game. Kirk Cousins is going to show up. And what a game. What a finish, right? So and on some level, I do a bit regret taking Atlanta over Carolina. I know the first game was close. It was so close, like 2 weeks from previously. And Carolina being at home this time, Atlanta seems to struggle at an outdoor stadium. So should have won that.
Carolina, right?
Huh?
I think I'm the only one to pick Carolina, right?
Yeah, you're the only one to pick Carolina, and that was really kind of the difference in the week.
Because I just couldn't believe how the Falcons stole that game 3 times. Like the Panthers gave that shit away 3 times the first time. I'm like, all right, well, there's no way that they're losing to them again. Yeah, there's no way.
But the biggest surprise for me was Indianapolis beating Las Vegas.
Are we surprised?
We thought that game could go either way, but I thought there's no way. Really, we said the title of our episode. Josh McDaniels couldn't screw this up, could he? My God.
But I've been saying that for half a season, and it's it was funny at first. Now it's just sad.
I don't know if it's just because Saturday's a former player. He knows what players need to hear.
No, it's McDaniels should not be a good coordinator.
No. He sucks. Yeah. That's what the problem is.
McDaniels is a good coordinator. Look how he ruined Denver. Were there only 9 people watching what he did in Denver? I don't get it. Denver had a near Super Bowl team. McDaniels got there. GG's shake my hand. It was over. He ruined that team.
I think my favorite meme on this is that Jeff Saturday now has more wins as the Colts head coach than Josh McDaniels did. Because everyone forgets McDaniels was hired by the Colts right before they were announced that he decided to back out. He was already signed the contract.
That's right.
So, yeah.
That's absolutely right. Kind of poetic justice, motherfucker.
Yeah. So big shocker there. A lot of upsets. This was just upset week, and In the past, there was always that one bad week that has screwed me over, and I lose the lead when we play this. And I'm kind of glad this is the week that I had it, but everyone else had a bad week. So
No, yeah, like if the best
Yeah.
was 7-7, we like I said in the chat, we all fucked up.
yeah, it was
Yeah, we
rough to
did.
pick. Yeah. DJ, what about you? Oh,
So my surprise for sure is Washington beating the Eagles. I didn't expect that. I didn't watch the whole game, and I wasn't really watching at the beginning. But I happened to check halftime, and I was like, maybe they transposed the fucking score. Washington's winning. What the fuck's going on here? Nope, they're winning. Eagles had 4 damn turnovers. But anyway, I have one regret, and it's trusting that Josh McDaniels couldn't fuck this up because he did it, and he did it in epic fashion, and he did it. I'm done with the Raiders. I have literally gone forward for the rest of this season that I can pick, and I have picked every other team that is playing the Raiders for the rest of this season, and I've saved it, and I'm not going to change it. I don't trust the Raiders to do anything but lose unless they fire Josh McDaniels. If they don't fire him, which they clearly not going to, because Mark Davis loves this guy because he's doing fantastic. 2-7 is a fantastic record, just in case nobody knew that. So that's my regret is trusting a Raiders team that is led by one of, if not the most incompetent coaches I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, there you go. Go Colts.
all right.
Good for you. Way to go, Jeff Saturday. You got 1 win. You might not get any more this season, but you got 1, goddammit.
I don't know, man. If he beats Philly this week, so
If he beats Philly, they should just dismantle the team because Philly, you're done at this point.
well, yeah, we'll
Seriously.
talk about that more for sure. So, Chicken Wing, what about you? Your thoughts on Week 10?
I got nothing, boys. I fucked up a lot. I should have listened to Nori in the Carolina game because he yelled at me for a while, like, why the fuck would you pick him? I don't know, man. Nah, y'all pretty much hit the nail on the head, man. That Washington upset is the biggest shocker for me, even more than fucking Indy over the Raiders. And I'm saying that because, like Nori preached all season, Josh McDaniels is a terrible coach. Well, there you go.
I realize I do have one more regret as well, and it's not changing my pick from the Rams to the Cardinals when I found out Colt McCoy was going to be starting for the Cardinals with Kyler Murray being injured. Because how many times have we seen Colt come in as a backup and just get a win for whatever team he's playing for in his career? So,
Facts.
hook him, So,
Yes, sir.
But anyway. All right. Well, that's our look back on Week 10. Now, I would just want to follow up. Previously on What's Bothering Minorities, we mentioned the debate on artificial turf versus natural grass. And we seem to kind of have spearheaded that because that conversation has taken off more so. A lot of high-profile NFL players have called out the NFL. Like, you added this money, you're getting this revenue, you need to start spending on natural grass. Even to the point where a NFL player has sued. I need to find the article again, but let me find it here real quick. Here we go. Where is it? Oh. Aaron Patrick has sued the NFL, the ESPN, the Rams, and the Chargers over his ACL tear that he suffered, mainly regarding a lot of the area around the sideline, the turf setup, and it's debatable if this could potentially even go to an arbitration through the CBA. And there's lawyers, of course, are arguing that this is not, this kind of circumvents it because he's not really suing based on something like an on-field discipline or that sort of thing. This one is partially to blame just for the way the turf field's set up and everything like that. But something like this, I don't know how this lawsuit's going to be successful, but this keeps the conversation open about grass versus artificial turf. And when we talked about it earlier this season, I posed the question: is there a chance that all the NFL teams could be forced into getting natural grass? And y'all thought, no, probably not. No one's going to spend the money. No one's going to force it. But as this
Mhm.
debate picks up more and more, are any of y'all convinced that potentially this could be something that becomes a reality very soon in NFL stadiums? Where they
Not
have to
until
have that?
not until a star goes down. No.
Now, Star, you think of like a high-profile quarterback, receiver, like someone like I don't know,
Tom Brady,
Like
AJ
a
Brown.
high
like
profile
Tom
white
Brady.
quarterback that makes them a lot of money, like Josh Allen, Tom Brady, yes, Aaron Rodgers. It would have to be somebody who's definitely white and profiled, whatever. Because if Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts goes down, they're not going to care too much. Barkley goes down, it's just another NFL season. But yeah, no. If you get a high profile white quarterback, like or you know what, or the closest non completely white quarterback that went down on turf, what happened is if Mahomes. If
Mm-hmm.
if one of them goes down, like Allen, Mahomes, Burrow eventually are like running this league.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson too, of course, but NFL don't care about him as much, so he doesn't get the same respect as the other guys. Other guys do. So yeah, that's my opinion of when it'll change because some random starter getting hurt, it's not cost them enough money.
I mean, the
I agree
Cooper
with
Cup
that,
injury is pretty
and
severe. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll agree with that. And I'll add to it. Aaron Rodgers has already come out and said, there's an article I read. He actually came out and said that he wants to go ahead and move to that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's going to have to get hurt before it actually will matter. I mean, at this point, it's just a player talking. Yes, he's a high profile player, but he's speaking.
That helps him
That's it.
saying that a lot though
There's
because
no
his voice carries a lot of weight. So instead of him saying stupid shit about immunizations and conspiracy theories, him
exactly.
saying real shit like, "Hey, we are your moneymaker. We are all getting hurt." I actually have a lot of respect for that, honestly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The biggest thing is the type of the artificial turf surface they're using. It's like in patches, things like that.
And
Something needs to be developed.
also JC, something I read too that in the World Cup Soccer League, turf is banned. Players
Yes.
got together and they will not play on it. So, a matter of fact, there's a stadium in Canada I just read where I think it's a Superdome. I think it's the Toronto Superdome or some shit like that. But
Yes.
yeah, they are all turf and they're converting to all grass by 2026. And that's what happens when players get together and say, "No, fuck you. Like this is how it's going to be." And that's why the NFL
Mhm.
is such a owner-controlled league, whereas the NBA and soccer is a very player-controlled league. It's different. I like that.
Now, I will say regarding the FIFA thing, yes, that is true for male men's soccer because
Mhm.
any World Cup it has to be natural grass because there was a women's World Cup in Canada where they forced the women to play on artificial turf.
Because they're not making enough money. Exactly. They don't give a
Yeah,
fuck about
but
it.
the problem is
Exactly.
there was such a big debate about the whole sexism that exists in FIFA.
Oh,
They
of
don't give a
course.
shit about the women's side of it, which is pretty shitty
It's
because
huge.
you
No,
know,
it's huge.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that has long been that debate. That's equal pay. There was a big lawsuit in the U.S., of course, between U.S. men's and women's soccer. But they invest in that money now. Toronto going to natural grass, good. I mean, you have the retractable roof. You can maintain it. There's a lot of stadiums in Major League Baseball that do it as well. And I want to say Toronto might, well, besides Tampa, I think is the only stadium that uses turf for baseball.
Mhm.
I can't think of any other stadium right now that does. So, um, but yeah, for sure. I mean, that was kind of a big thing. So, I mean, even when they host soccer games in the Alamo Dome, they have to bring natural grass sod in pallets basically, and set that up in the Alamo Dome so they can play a soccer game in there.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I mean, if soccer's making the investment, and part of the debate is like if the NFL is adding these extra games for this extra revenue, they need to spend it on player safety if they generally do care. And it's never so much about the headshots, concussions, and everything. Um, I know the Titans are going to be building a new stadium. I wonder if they should change the plans a bit to have some sort of retractable field. Something like Vegas and Arizona, where they have a natural grass and the field could just be rolled in and out. That would definitely make it a little bit more appealing too for the league and for the players themselves as well. So the debate rages on, but yeah, like you said, it'll take some high profile athlete. And the Super Bowl is where this year? I don't remember.
Robert joined us. He's here.
Rob.
Lies, all lies.
What's up, Rob?
Well, fucking well.
I believed in you, Robert Jones, the entire time. Not these assholes.
Yeah, I heard y'all talking shit already. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Super Bowl this year is in Arizona. So okay, it's in
Arizona.
grass. Yeah.
Cardinals.
But I would wonder what happens if like the Super Bowl is somewhere where it's it's a turf stadium, like I don't know, L.A. or Detroit or something, and some major star of the Super Bowl goes down. Is that really what it's going to take for them to really care about player safety?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
which is pretty shitty that it takes something like that. So
Yep. Jimmy G is going to go down in the big game, and we're going to have to go to
Mike, we
Nate
said high
Sudfeld.
profile.
All right.
We said high profile.
Nate
High
Sudfeld,
profile.
sir.
Yeah.
He will lead us to the promised land.
oh my lord.
Okay, we said high profile, Michael. Okay, relax.
Well, no, it's not just that. Jimmy G getting hurt is just another. It's like Barkley getting hurt. Like, oh no, I'm shocked. I can't believe it happened.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
It'll be McCaffrey if anything.
Well,
That that could be a big one.
Fine.
He's the,
he's
Yeah.
made a class too. When's the last time he played full season?
2018.
Yeah, he gets hurt all the goddamn time.
Exactly.
It has to be somebody with longevity, like who almost never gets hurt, like Brady, like Rodgers, like Josh Allen, not severely hurt. Burrow recently was lost to the season 2 years ago, so it's like, I think somebody like that. Mahomes, thank you, a good one. Yeah, exactly. So I have to be one of them, somebody with longevity who doesn't normally get hurt, or even fucking some star defensive end, or who never ever gets hurt and they get hurt on turf, like something like that.
What if it's like a star rookie, like say,
Or Sauce Gardner, maybe, yeah,
like Sauce, or like
maybe, yeah, I can see that.
Parsons, or like
Some real, or Justin, or like somebody super exciting, basically with longevity for health. Then yeah, I think the NFL would finally like start the process of talking about this, because too many athletes are coming out against it.
Yeah,
it's dangerous.
you're dangerous.
I am.
all right. Well, the
Everybody's
debate rages
dangerous.
on, so we'll see. Rob, glad you're able to join us.
Yeah,
Fine.
it's
Yep.
great.
Glad the nap was good. So there's a couple questions I want to ask you too. First of all, you attended the soccer match this past weekend where SAFC claimed the championship.
That's right.
Yeah.
SAFC.
I wanted you to share your thoughts on the experience there. So
Real quick, it's funny related to that. My barber is cutting my hair tonight, and he's friends with Rob too, because he cut Rob's hair a few times, and he goes, "Hey, your friend Rob, was he like in Europe?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Yeah, I saw him at a soccer field." I was like, "Homie, that was like San Antonio. That was a local thing."
It's a local thing.
That's so cool that he thought that. Like, I thought that was awesome. That was cool.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
So I went to the USL finals. USL finals or USL is the second tier of like US soccer, right? So it's USL, then MLS, and then that's it, because that's all we have. And San Antonio has one of the smaller followings as far as soccer is concerned. We have one of the smaller fields. It only has about I think they said like 8,000 seats. So when we sell out, we sell out. And like I've been going to the last couple games because I just decided, hey, I wanted to just experience it. I wanted to experience the playoffs, and so I went to the semifinals match, and then they won that. So I was like, well, screw this, I'm gonna go to the finals too, since SAFC had home court through the entire playoffs, because they finished the season with the best record. I think they finished with I want to say like 30-4 or 20, like 24-6 or something. It's really like, so they had the best season. SAFC had the goaltender of the year, and they had the defensive player of the year, and they had coach of the year. So there was just a lot of things that were rolling for them this year, and then of course one of our strikers got the game MVP, Santiago Patino. So just a lot of really things that have that that have grown out of a homegrown, San Antonio built team. We started off as the San Antonio Scorpions, and yeah, it's just grown from there. Some of the biggest games that we've had this year, we beat the Austin FC
That was
earlier
huge.
this year in April, and that was big. It's because it's the first time a USL team has ever beaten an MLS team. By a lot. I think we won like 3-1. So like this team was just special this year.
That was
And
fitting for me because honestly, Austin stole that franchise from San Antonio.
they really did.
Really
It's
did.
like
So yeah,
I think when that got handled a couple years ago, it was just a mishandling by
Mhm.
like the Spurs Foundation and in general.
Mhm.
I think had we done it, we would have had that team and we would be in the MLS right now. But
Mhm.
I mean, it is what it is, and like I've had the pleasure of watching this team grow the last couple years. So SAFC has only been official for I think 2 years now, so or three.
3, I think,
So
because I went to
yeah,
a game pre-pandemic and it was pretty awesome.
yeah,
So yeah,
and they're a very very fun team to watch. I guess you also saw the TikTok that I placed, so just being there for that first goal and then just watching Louisville FC just kind of implode after that because like they gave up some easy goals after that. But it was a really good game, really good game. I think one of the fun things about going to a game live is just not knowing anyone there. I went by myself, but like if you show up in an SAFC jersey, like everyone's your friend. People were like high fiving and like good luck, and we were talking trash to the Louisville guys, and like showed up to the tailgate. It was great, man. Like SAFC, since it's such a small community, everyone's a friend. And like I ended up meeting people that I have known from past jobs who had season tickets. I was like, "What? You guys are here too? What? What? Craziness! It's fun. It's so much fun."
so
I'm buying season tickets for next year.
nice. I want to go to a game or two if I can.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so basically, not unlike the experience your Tampa Bay Bucks had in Germany for the very
Pretty
first time.
much,
Yeah.
yeah. Did y'all see that? There's a clip of like the entire stadium singing like a John Denver song or something.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, a
And
lot of fun.
it sounds too like the NFL is looking into not, maybe doing a game in France or Spain. A lot of these big soccer heavy areas.
Hmm.
Um, I'm sure Nori was happy when the Giants played the Packers over there and they were singing "You shove that fucking cheese up your ass." Everyone was chanting that, so in London and everything. So, um, for sure. So, yeah, I want to try and get to some more games. I've been to a game before. It's a fun experience. Soccer live is definitely much better on TV, but if you do watch it on TV, like with the World Cup coming up, I highly recommend you do it with Spanish commentary on. It's much more exciting. Don't gotta understand what they're saying, but watch it with the Spanish commentary on. Watch it on Telemundo or Univision, whatever's broadcasting it is, because the World Cup does start this weekend
Yep.
actually.
Weekend
Try
this
to-
weekend.
Yep. All right. Well, Rob, you joined us just in time to deliver your bye-week report card for your Tampa Bay Bucks.
So
I'll just kind of introduce this here. Currently, your Bucks are 5-5, first place in the NFC South. Tom Brady 2-0 since the divorce. You know, um, and riding a little win streak. So you got some positive notes here. But go ahead, Rob. Give us your bye-week report card for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
so Tampa Bay, like you said, Brady is now 2-0 without Giselle. Just shout out to all my boys who say their girl is a distraction. Tom Brady is now your idol.
Let's hold you back.
I mean, like overall, this season, I'm still gonna stand with what I said last week, and I'm gonna give the Bucks a C. Defense has been kind of sus, and like offense has just not been the dynamic offense that I was hoping for. Uncle Lenny hasn't been that go-to like running back. He's just kind of shown up, kind of like alongside Tom Brady's getting divorced, and like just the last few games, he's decided he's gonna get a touchdown or two. Our receiver core has just been absent. Like I don't know what's going on with them. Missing just not having the a solid tight end either to go to. Auden has just started to show up this season, which is kind of cool. I was expecting a lot more from Cameron Braid to, he was going to get more of the reps without Gronkowski, but he just hasn't done anything with them. So, like, I'm glad to see them be, at 5-5, at least at 500. Of course, NFC South is pretty weak this year, so we're still division leaders, surprisingly. A couple scary games there, but I mean, we pulled out the wins, and like I said with that Giselle, Tom Brady is undefeated. So yeah, we'll see how we keep going for the rest of the year. There's a lot of really tough games still left to play, so I'm sure we'll make it to the playoffs, but I'm not sure how deep of a run we're gonna have this year without having, a deeper bench of reliable players right now. But yeah, I see us at least making the playoffs at this point.
Nice. Well, thank you, Rob, for that. And the beauty of winning your division, regardless of the record, you still get to host a home playoff game. So,
right?
Yeah, maybe at least get that luxury. So, all right, time to move into our Week 11 predictions on the season. Our pick order this week is Nori, Rob, JC, DJ, and then Chicken Wing. Teams on a bye are Miami, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Jacksonville. So, no international games this week, but the Thursday night game is Tennessee at Green Bay, and looks a little bit different now. I as a Titans fan, thought, hey, we could be riding the extending the Packers losing streak. But then the Packers played the Cowboys. So
wait. I thought we played at Mexico City.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
What?
I thought we played at Mexico City Monday night.
Oh, y'all do play Monday. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that is Stadio Azteca. Very good. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be nuts.
That is gonna be nuts.
That game is gonna be nuts.
Talk
Just
about
because
it.
of the stadium. You care about the teams.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mexico City, just random news. I don't know if y'all talked about this earlier. Did y'all see that they might be the next expansion team for the NBA?
I saw an article about that. That's interesting. Be careful with that.
Just saying.
Look, I'm just gonna throw it out there. How much do the cartels get involved with some of the Mexican League soccer games, Mexican League baseball? Shit, the wrestling promotions down there.
Yeah,
not saying it's prevalent in Mexico City, but you just never know. So
yes, that's how much they get involved. Yes.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind seeing it, but the travel could be an issue trying to get through international borders and stuff, especially how the political climate can change, right? But
yeah, I mean, even an easy border like Canada, we still had like visa issues. We had people losing passports,
losing passports. Certain medications that could be considered drugs going over the country.
So
COVID vaccination statuses, Kyrie. So there's a lot potentially with that.
Yeah, there's a lot there. That's kind of crazy.
But obviously, for the Thursday night game, taking Tennessee. So somehow the Vegas has this even on a neutral site because Green Bay is only favored by 3 on this one. So, but going with the Titans to kind of keep this going, what they have. A little bit of momentum. Obviously, the Denver way they eked that one out, but I trust the running game to beat Green Bay. And honestly, the Titans have a way better run defense than Dallas did. So if I'm going by recent history, Nori, what about everyone? Yeah,
I think the Titans convincingly win this. Actually, I don't even know why this is even. I think a healthy Derrick Henry runs the whole team. I don't think the Packers have the run defense they had last year or previous years. I think the Packers just know not only Mike McCarthy, but they somehow are good against the Dallas Star, and that's kind of it. So unless Green Bay just woke up and realized that, oh shit, I don't have to cry about Devontae Adams anymore, I actually have receivers, which I don't think is the case, I'm going to ride with the Titans.
All right. Rob?
I'm going to have to go with this. Like, I saw the Green Bay game, and I don't believe that rookie wide receiver he's gonna have like a breakout season, and I think that they just don't have the offense. So I'm gonna stick with Tennessee with this one also.
All right, DJ.
I'm with you, Rob. I think he'll be more involved in the offense now that we've seen that he can catch the ball, because that was a problem early on, is that he just couldn't catch passes. But that's still not going to be enough to beat the Titans. So I'm going with Tennessee.
And Chicken Wing.
Copy pasta.
All right,
Fucking hell! I mean,
nailed it. All right, on to the Sunday early games, and we're going to start with Chicago at Atlanta. Atlanta actually is favored by 3 at home on this one. So, Nori, where are you going with this one?
Why again? Why?
don't know.
Seeing Atlanta play football. I'm gonna go with the Bears. They really they barely lost to the Lions. They're putting up a lot more points. I'm gonna go with the Bears. I like that pick a lot more than Atlanta not being consistent. Cordell Patterson really helps coming back. That really helps a lot. But you just lost to the Panthers. Shut up.
All right, Rob.
I don't know. Something clicked with Justin Fields, and like he's fun to watch. Like watching him actually get to run the ball and actually just be the dynamic quarterback that they drafted him to be. Like it's been fun to watch. So I'm gonna go with Chicago.
Yeah, I got Chicago as well. Despite their loss to the Lions, there's just a matter of two impressive offenses, and it seemed like it was a matter of who's going to get the ball last on that game. So, but I think Chicago's rolling right now, and Atlanta started great, just seemed to be faltering here a bit. So I'm going to go with Chicago. DJ.
Yeah, I'm going with Chicago. The Chicago brass is finally realizing that Justin Fields can be dynamic if you call the right types of plays for him. And he keeps showcasing that. Number one rushing team in the league right now, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that'll be enough to beat Atlanta. If for no other reason, they keep the ball from Atlanta because they keep possessing it because they're running it on the clock out.
We trust your stats, DJ. You're never mistaken. We trust you.
Hey. I'm glad to hear that y'all trust them. I only throw them out there here and there. That's what I'm doing now. I cut back a lot, but I got to throw them out there every once in a while.
It's just that extra special when you do put them out there. So
It really is.
There you go.
I don't know if y'all saw it, but there's a TikTok with like McDaniels right after Justin Field is doing this running play, and he's just like, "Stop! Just stop! Just stop!"
Oh,
I see that.
that's the one I shared. That's what I shared with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was no, it wasn't Justin Fields. It was
Was it?
No, it was Justin Fields.
It was
Was
just
it Fields?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was. It was
yeah.
against the Bears.
He kept running all over them, and then he goes, "Stop! Will you please stop?" And he just
Brady's going to
he
get
was-
hurt or something. Yeah.
He was even saying in the presser, he's like, "I asked him to stop. I don't understand why he wouldn't." Dog, I was screaming. Mike McDaniels is a national treasure. He's the McDaniels we need and deserve.
He's the McDaniels that every team should have, not the
he is
other
a
the other
fucking
guy.
national treasure. We have to protect him.
All right.
Okay,
Chicken
sorry.
Wing, what about you?
Pasta of the copy.
Pasta of the copy.
Oh,
Exactly.
So corny.
Yes.
This is why Mike never should get the last pick. Like every time he loses, he should just be first pick.
Hey, the beauty of it is if he's getting the last pick, that means he's losing every week. So we kind of want that to happen, right? So
I mean,
It's-
yeah,
Fair enough.
It's hard.
fair enough.
But it makes
fair
for a
enough.
more boring episode, but I guess I'd rather have this than him win. So
yeah. All right.
it's hard. Yeah.
Mm.
voices.
Cleveland at Buffalo. Buffalo favored by 8 at home. Does anybody think the Browns beat the Buffalo Bills?
Actually,
Okay, go for it.
because I like the Browns' running game quite a lot in potentially 2 to 4 feet of snow. I know Buffalo's used to playing in the cold, but if it's just a pure running game and no one's throwing the ball a lot and catching the ball a lot, I don't know if the Bills are 98.46% favored here. I'm not quite sure what Yahoo's looking at.
Yeah.
And the Bills don't look like the Bills the last 2 weeks. So I don't know why everybody's so convinced that the Bills will like just smoke this team out. Like, is Jimmy Brissett like a better quarterback than Allen? Fuck no. But with the weather, if the weather is like as shitty as they're predicting it to be, I might go with Cleveland on this because their running game was going to keep Allen off the field. And I don't think Allen's going to be able to connect on these big ass plays that he and Diggs need to beat teams.
I did see a weather report like that it's going to be pretty bad, but I'm wondering if that could potentially impact this game being postponed. If the weather's really bad, like
You've never seen. What was the last time they postponed an NFL game?
from a snowstorm, they did it not too long ago.
Did they? I
Yeah,
don't remember
they
that.
But I remember when there was like Buffalo. They woke up and the stadium in Buffalo was just like filled to the brim with
wasn't
snow.
that a few years ago with the Vikings roof collapsing and shit? Like, doesn't it need to be something like that.
Well,
where,
there
like,
was
the
years
field
ago
is
that
damaged?
happened, but yeah, there was a game not too long ago in Buffalo where they had to move it to like the next night or an indoor stadium somewhere. I don't remember, but it has happened before in Buffalo. So
Mm.
It
yeah,
snowed so bad that even when they cleaned the snow, it covered the field again in 30 minutes. That's how
Yeah.
bad it was.
it was just it
Wow.
was a big safety issue for fans to even get to the game as it was. So I can't remember what their plan was if they moved that game to a Tuesday or Wednesday or moved it indoors. I can't remember exactly what they did, but that was an issue. So I mean, there's a potential for it to happen here, but I know I'm still going Buffalo. Is anybody going to join Nori potentially going for Cleveland here?
No, like yeah,
Nah, I'm
no.
Hey.
sticking with Buffalo.
All right.
I mean, he's got a good reasoning, but no,
No.
just no.
All right. The next game, a little interesting now. Philadelphia at Indianapolis here. The Eagles, of course, we got the blueprint from the Washington Communists on how to beat the Eagles. And then you got Jeff Saturday, undefeated as a head coach. And I'm just going to go out and say this. If the Colts win this game, you can just drop the
Relax.
interim tag off of Jeff Saturday's coaching title at this point. Because, Jesus. That being said, anybody think the Eagles lose 2 in a row now with this taking a loss to the Colts here?
Nope.
No.
I mean, Jeff Saturday's
No.
undefeated as a head coach.
No.
Yeah.
Why do we keep saying that? Okay.
Because it's fun. I mean,
The
Tom
Raiders-
Brady is undefeated
Raiders
since
are
his
barely a
divorce.
fucking team. The Raiders are barely a football team.
I mean, the
Seriously.
Raiders
They have Josh
self-employed. Like,
McDaniels as the head coach.
Yep.
They're barely a
Uh,
football
I mean-
team that quite a few of us in America thought that would be in the postseason. So
That's exactly right. Exactly.
yeah, well, we weren't
But
expecting
then
to
we
blow
realized, oh, wait,
three
Josh McDaniels.
17-point leads. Like what? Like
Well, I mean, look at the head coach, man. When you have that guy as a head coach, I mean, what could you expect other than failure?
they're so bad that they can't afford to fire him.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, man,
Great
cash.
article.
Yep.
The billionaire doesn't have the cash. Got it.
All
Makes
right,
perfect
on to the
sense.
next, and this is a divisional matchup and quite an interesting one now. The way this division is played out, not exactly how we thought it was going to be, but preseason wise, the Jets at the Patriots. Nori, what do you got here?
Jets. I'm gonna get this goddamn pick right. I'm gonna get this right.
All right,
I think they're playing really good. They have a huge amount of momentum after beating a healthy Buffalo.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they ride that to the Patriots who are still trying to figure themselves out.
Okay. Rob.
I'm gonna take the Pats on this one. Yeah, I just like chaos right now, and yeah. They're also coming off a bye, so like, or they're coming off their bye week, so like, I think they'll be well rested versus, a Jets team that yes they beat the Bills, but I think that's just gonna be an emotional high, and I don't know if they can continue that into next week or into this week. So, take the well rested Patriots.
I said at the top of this episode, I'm going to really start looking at historical trends now, and here's one historical trend. Belichick doesn't lose to the Jets. Plain and simple.
That is true.
That's got
I've seen
the
that. I'm a little worried. So I'm a little worried about this pick,
Yep.
but
So I'm going with the Patriots because it kind of burned me earlier this season. I took the Jets, didn't pan out.
me
And
too,
I said
man.
I'm not gonna do it again. So I'm gonna take Belichick and the Patriots beating the Jets on this one. DJ,
Is this the second
I'm
time
doing
they
the
played?
exact same thing.
all right. Let's see if we
Copy
can.
pasta? Yeah, shut up. But
Go ahead, Chicken Wings. Just say it.
Not enough MILFs in Foxborough, so Patriots.
Gosh.
I mean, do we know where his mom's friend was originally from? She might be there.
She might be the only one though. Like
That's
come on.
all he needs.
Just one. Just
Yeah,
one.
Nah, that man
He
needs
got the
variety.
money now. Just fly her in.
I mean, you're right, but that man needs variety. So
Fly her the fuck in there.
He's
Yeah.
got money.
until that happens,
All
Patriots.
right. Next, a battle of 3-win teams. The Los Angeles Rams take on the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. Nori, what do you got?
I was going to pick the Saints, but now that Stafford's playing, I'm going to pick the Rams.
Okay. Rob?
I don't know. Even with Stafford playing, I might.
The Saints couldn't even beat the Steelers.
So
That's
That's
a
good picking though.
that-
fair point.
I know it's a good point. Thank you,
No.
Mike. You keep
Good
doing
point,
you. You'll
brother.
end up in last place. Keep it up. That's right.
You know what? Nori's actually making sense. I'm gonna go with Stafford and the Rams.
I think one big injury the Rams have that has really taught me on the Saints on this one is Cooper Kupp.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank
That's a
you.
major
Top
injury.
receiver
He's
is
out at
gone,
least
bro.
4 games. This is game 1 of that. He's on IR. I'm going with the Saints on this one here.
Mhm.
DJ, what about you?
Matt
It is
Stafford
a tough
versus
one.
Andy Dalton.
It is a tough one. It is a
It
tough
is a very tough one.
And-
Yeah.
And Matt Stafford's by far favorite target, Cooper Kupp, is not playing for at least 4 weeks. I'm going with the Saints.
All
He
right.
did get Ben Jefferson back.
Take it away.
Rams have no run game. They're injured as shit. Cooper Kupp is fucking gone. Rams all the way.
What? What?
Yeah, I agree, Mike.
Hell
I
yeah.
agree.
What
Mike.
the
Hell
fuck
yeah.
is going on?
You know what? Just because of that, I'm switching to the Saints.
Chaos.
Yeah,
Fucking
seriously.
chaos,
Fuck
boys.
this guy.
Yes.
No, that's just I'm going with
Negative,
Saints. I don't-
negative, negative, negative. I'm picking him.
Like there's
Hell
nothing.
yeah.
Do it. Let it fly. Let it ride.
Let it fly. Let it ride.
I'm not taking you to
As-
Vegas.
As
Golly.
as Nori would say, I'm just gonna throw shit to the wall and hope it sticks.
That's
Well,
the strategy.
Speaking of Nori, I'm curious to see how conflicted he's going to be on this next one because, he was riding high on Detroit, watching Hard Knocks, and now they're playing his Giants. So
Oh, this is easy. He's just picking his Giants.
I'm sure
Just
he's
pick the
picking his
Giants.
Giants, but I'm sure he's kind of worried the way Detroit's offense is. So, Nori, what do you got here?
Took the words out of my mouth. Detroit, I think because of their coaching, they're fighters. They don't go down easy. They don't know that they're not as talented as other teams, but my team doesn't know they're not as talented as other teams either. So they are fully believing in the scrapping, whoever you are, we're going to try to find a way to fuck you up. And they've honestly only convincingly lost to Seattle. That's it. Everybody else, they've won or lost within 7. So I like the ratio of that. I'm going to keep going with that. But if I'm going to be lying if I'm saying I'm not worried because Detroit they're very scrappy and I think they're better than their record.
All right. I'll ask this question here, but I feel like I
Yeah.
don't know if I should or not, but I'll ask it. Anyone think Detroit
Do it.
beats the Giants this weekend?
Nope.
No.
I think it's gonna be the most exciting game of the week.
Yeah, I think this is
That
come down
is
to
a
a field goal.
possibility.
Yeah.
I can tell you now,
I'm-
none of the Giants games have been like exciting unless you're a Giants fan this year because we just don't know because we don't have any receivers. Like receivers are what make the NFL, and unless you love watching running backs, then and really good defense, like the Giants are playing 80s football right now, and it's winning. And it's
No,
working.
I'm talking about 6 of your 7 games have been within one score, and with both teams being scrappy, that's what I'm referring
Yeah.
to.
All like very, very defensive. I mean, maybe,
Oh yeah. It'll come down to the fourth quarter.
but the Lions' defense is doo doo. So I don't know if they're stopping.
They don't play that.
So was the
Rob,
Giants
it
defense.
sounded like you were
They-
considering
You think the
taking
Giants'
Detroit there
defense is
for a
doo
second.
doo? What?
No.
No, you're not.
Definitely not.
All right. All right. Well, let's move on to what is potentially the easiest pick of the week. Carolina at Baltimore.
Yes.
The Ravens favorite
Hey, you
by
watch
12.
out for that Baker Mayfield kid.
Oh my
Watch
God.
him. All right.
Watch him.
Yes.
Watch out for
Watch
him.
him.
If it was PJ Walker under center, maybe this would be tougher to pick, but Baker's playing for the Panthers again.
Baker's back.
Does anyone
Woohoo!
think the Panthers beat the Ravens in Baltimore?
And the United States doesn't even think.
No, it does not. What is the discrepancy on
The
your
whole
I haven't
country.
seen it yet.
It's
Oh,
a 12 point. Like what?
yeah.
There's a one
It's
point
98.04% and 1.96%.
Jesus.
I can
Christ.
tell you right now, if PJ Walker was playing, it'd be like 2.4%, but it still would be a fucking landslide. I'm serious.
Baker Mayfield just won his last game, fellas.
Yeah, but the Ravens are coming off a bye. I don't trust
Oh no,
Baker to
no.
win two.
They're not beating the Ravens, but they did win their last game. And to be fair,
Oh, okay.
to be
Okay.
fair,
To be fair.
to be
I got
fair,
you. I got you.
to be fair, nobody thought Dallas would lose. Nobody thought the Eagles would lose. So shit happens. It's the
Strange
NFL.
things have happened, yeah, for sure.
Stranger things, strange, much bigger upsets have happened than this. It would be a very Ravens thing to do to be up by 17 and then lose to Baker Mayfield. That would be a very Ravens thing to do, but I'm hoping it doesn't.
That sounds like a Raiders thing, not a Ravens
You're
thing.
thinking of a Raiders.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
I'm
it
not.
does. Yeah, it sounds like Josh McDaniels.
No, I'm not, fellas. Look it up. The Ravens have had 3 games. They lead the NFL with 17-point leads, and they've lost them.
Interesting.
Hey,
Yeah.
so they're
Nori,
just
wait,
like
what?
the Raiders.
Yeah.
Good
You guys are
research.
I love
hilarious.
it. I love it. Those are stats, Nori. Yes.
Yes.
You guys are
Yes,
hilarious.
I appreciate it.
Hold on. You guys think the Raiders have been up 17 on anybody? Bunch of idiots. Surrounded by idiots.
I mean, for the first half, they were up
I just
17.
figure they blow it at some point, right? There's got to be a
Man,
chance they did it one
There's
time.
actually no scientific
17,
way.
7, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's even if you put on Madden, you still can't get 17 points with the Raiders. It's actually not even in the game. Like it's not even real.
What's that? You set up like
It's not a
a
big
scenario, like a game scenario on Madden, and then you try and put the Raiders up by 17, and Madden's like, no. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
No.
If it's a 10-0 and
Nah.
you score a touchdown, like you can't get the extra point. That's it. You can't.
Yeah. All right. Washington at Houston. The Communists head to Houston to take on the Texans. Judging by what the Communists just did to the Eagles, does anybody think the Texans get a win at home?
Nope.
More importantly, I want JC to now try to renounce communism because they're playing the Texans. So how do you feel about communism now?
Let me just put it this way. Right now, as you hear, you're going to hear the national anthem of the Soviet Union playing in the background, like we always do with the Communists come on.
No,
So,
okay.
I better if I don't see you
Throw it out there.
spinning around your goddamn house like Zangief. If I don't see that shit,
you know,
better,
if I
you
wasn't
better
going to be helping out with the
kids.
tournament my daughter's team is hosting this weekend, yeah, for sure, I would love to see the Texans win. But I'm just going to preface this right now. If you guys remember my bold prediction beginning of this year, do you guys remember what it was?
No.
We actually don't being as vague as Chicken Wing here. Tell us.
No,
My
he
bold
said
prediction. Go ahead,
something
Rob.
about
This is
like,
Rob
no,
Rivers.
go ahead. No, I don't remember. I don't.
He doesn't know.
I said my bold prediction before this season was that when Deshaun Watson comes back, he's going to lose to the Houston Texans.
Well, he's not back yet. So he's
Not
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 winning
back
yet.
yet, but he has started practicing with the Browns yet. That game is coming up, and I'm just going to
Yeah.
preface this by saying right now, that will be the one time in my lifetime I will cheer for the Houston Texans to win. Because I want them for what he did to burn that franchise. You don't want to see how he handled that. Yeah, yes, I enjoy the Texans being a shit show, but I would love for them to get some measure of revenge on Deshaun
Hey,
Watson.
hey, DJ. What do we always say? Pick or it didn't happen, bro.
I mean,
That's true.
he said it at the very beginning of the year too. So
He
It was
said
my
it
bold
at the beginning of
prediction.
the year, but I need a TikTok video of him cheering on the Texans.
I
with
won't go
touchdown.
that far, okay? You
Nah,
kiss my ass.
nah.
I'm just saying,
Get in
you have
there.
audio proof. That's it, all right? So that's as far as I'm going.
no, we just need to take a
Jason,
screenshot of the
I
group
need
pic
you to
when
get
he
some.
took-
I need you to get some Texans
Thank you.
gear. Put
Thank
that
you.
on, and
There
then
you go.
cheer.
I'll do it
Yes.
if DJ cheers for the Giants, and if
Jay,
Chicken Wing puts
Jason,
on
you
some
can burn in hell. I'm not
Seahawks gear.
doing that. I'm not doing that shit.
Okay.
My body will catch
Chicken Wing
up
puts
on
some Seahawks
this
gear on.
fucking bullshit.
If Rob wears some Atlanta Falcons
Fuck
shit,
that.
if Nori wears some Eagles stuff, something like
Whoa,
that,
whoa,
all
whoa.
right?
Wait,
Yeah.
Wait,
You mean-
I
wait,
will wear a
hold on.
Cordell Patterson jersey if he gets you in a Texans jersey. I will go out
I'm
and
not wearing
buy
a jersey.
one.
I'm just saying.
I
I'm
will
just gonna
wear a
root for them that
Marshawn
game.
Lynch Seahawks jersey if it means
If I
Seahawks
can
versus
get-
Giants in the NFC
Wait.
Championship. Fuck yes. Fuck
If
Nori.
we can get JC in a Texans jersey, I
Oh
will
my
buy
God.
y'all jerseys of the other teams. It's just too rare.
Yes.
Like we gotta make
But
this happen.
what I'm saying is, if I touch the Giants jersey, I will catch fire. That's what I'm telling you. I can't do it.
It's fine. It'll
I
only
cannot
be
do
like
it.
2 seconds for a picture. It'll be fine. It'll be
No.
fine.
2
Okay,
seconds
Virus
on the
thing
internet.
is-
It's a lifetime on the internet. I don't know.
It's a lifetime on the internet.
Not even, bro.
As a Giants fan, what the fuck? I thought you hated the Giants. I do fucking hate them. Just leave me alone.
All right. Let's move on. Sunday late afternoon games. Las Vegas at Denver. Whew.
I can't pick this game. Fuck y'all.
No one can pick this game.
do you
We
mean
know
you
where
can't?
DJ's
Yeah, we
going.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Broncos.
What?
Broncos all the way, goddammit. Fuck the Raiders.
Nori,
Yeah,
go
fuck,
ahead.
no, you heard what I said?
This
Fuck
is an
'em.
easy
I'm picking the
goddamn.
Raiders anymore.
This is an easy goddamn Broncos pick because the fucking Raiders make the Broncos look like Peyton Manning's running the show. No, sir. No,
Exactly.
the Broncos here.
Simple.
What the fuck?
No,
No,
fuck you. All right.
it's an
Fuck you.
easy ass pick. What?
Easy pick. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, speaking of Peyton, did y'all see the thing where they said where they asked him a question if like what he would do if they asked him to be commissioner?
No, what'd he say?
No.
No,
He said
but
he
did
would-
he say yes?
Yeah,
'Cause I'll
he
vote
said yes,
immediately.
he would do it. He said he would do it.
Okay.
And like, I'd actually be really interested to see what he would change, like as commissioner.
Well, somebody get the
I
sheriff on the
honestly-
ballot. We
You know,
can
someone
vote.
who
Kind of what the league
someone who
needs, like
actually
the
was-
former player to be stepping in and understanding that part of it. You know?
Yeah,
So-
like, do you think that would make the whole turf discussion like moot? Because like he'd be like, yes, change it now. Like,
I would hope he has. I think he has he's a very likable personality. ESPN just eats him up, so they eat up his brother too. They're very
Yeah.
likable
Mhm.
people. I would hope he uses his powers and influence for good, and starts doing a lot more, making it a player league like Adam Silver does for the NBA. Now, do they get everything right in the NBA? Fuck
no, but I
But
mean,
they- but
it's a lot
way-
closer than it was
it's
like years ago.
far superior than the NFL, and they
Mhm.
just generally don't give a fuck about their players. Like they really, really don't. So I would love to see a new commissioner in there who gives a shit about the players, whoever it is. I don't care.
Yeah, I guarantee if Peyton Manning was commissioner, we would have natural grass in every NFL stadium for sure. So,
That is correct.
but back to this game, and yes, it is a division matchup here. I might as well just freaking ask it. Anyone think that the Raiders are going to beat the Broncos this weekend?
Mike clearly
No.
I can't wait to see how they implode this week.
Let me just put it this way: I am picking the Raiders to beat the Broncos this week.
seal of death.
Is that-
That's fine.
It's fine.
Why?
Why? Because they did it once
Please.
already this year.
Please.
Okay, and I would argue the Broncos are more of a shit show than the Raiders at times too. So,
Just Saturday.
okay, Russell Wilson in Denver, it's not working
But,
out, dude. Okay, sorry.
Colts and the Colts and Broncos both. Do they both not have better records than the Raiders?
That's the thing. The Broncos have had a better record when they played them previously, and the Raiders still beat the Broncos. It's one of those things where it's within a division matchup. The Raiders just seem to have the Broncos number. It's a little bit of history in there, So
I don't know, man. Devontae Adams is now verbally frustrated with his entire situation. I don't know how you win when your star player basically wants to be gone.
potentially, yeah, but he's still catching passes, right? So, I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know. This could potentially be the last game the Raiders win this season. So I am picking them on that, to be honest with you. So I just have a feeling in my gut that this is what's going to happen. So maybe it's my big upset pick, but it's weird that I'm saying upset pick when Denver's only favored by 2.5.
I am willing. Listen, I'm willing to die on the sword on this next week if the Broncos actually get swept by the Raiders. I'm willing to die on this because as bad as the Broncos look,
Mhm.
I think the Raiders look worse because they have a shittier coach, and that's hard to say with Hackett actually having an NFL job. That is fucking wild.
What is it
McDaniels-
about these teams that have been horrible coaching jobs in the NFC West, right? These two teams.
Maybe if they
I
They
get
have
don't- I
one.
don't
They
know.
have one more winnable game. They have a game against Pittsburgh.
you know what it is.
I'm going with Kenny Pickett on that.
Even ignoring
Yeah.
that they favor a certain skin color, even if we're ignoring that, there were far better white coaches than McDaniels and fucking Hackett out there. Far better candidates.
Yep.
I would have given Jack Del Rio a third shot. Goddamn. Seriously.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh,
He wasn't.
No?
Look at his
Lord.
record. He wasn't that bad.
He really wasn't. It's funny
He's
that you say
in
it
a
that way,
shit
but it's
franchise,
true.
basically.
He really
He
wasn't.
just says that though.
He really wasn't.
Look at,
He was not that bad.
Look at his situation. Look at what he has. I would have given him another fucking chance. I would give Steve Spagnuolo goddamn another chance. He did better with the Rams than these two clowns.
Yep.
There's a multitude of fucking coaches I would have given. That I don't know what McDaniels possibly, what tape he has on Mark Davis to get a
Yeah.
multi-year contract.
This is tape.
I think
Has to be. Dude,
what-
he's got to be fucking getting pegged by somebody on camera. And McDaniels caught it. It has to be. Nothing fucking else I see here, man.
I feel like the Raiders screwed up when they didn't just remove the interim tag off their coach last year.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I thought he was second in places. He was doing good.
He was doing great. Yeah, I really was
Yeah.
surprised by that. And you
I like
bring in
him.
McDaniels for it.
I mean, they went to the fucking playoffs last year, and they brought in Josh McDaniels, and look at them now. I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
I just
That
don't
makes sense at all.
understand. I don't understand what they're thinking. I have no interest in the Raiders at all, like zero. Like they don't hurt me, they don't help me. I just, as an NFL fan, I feel for the Raiders because like the NFL would be better if they were finally good. And I'm so disappointed because I feel like they were right there. They were on the up and up, and then you just take a giant fucking leap backwards by
Yeah,
going make.
it's
I just don't get it.
especially
Or
when
should I
you move this franchise from Oakland to Vegas. Like you wanted a footprint in Vegas with the sports betting and everything.
Yeah.
You know, and then this happens, you know. The John Gruden controversy. They still made the playoffs in spite of that. But then you kind of just destroyed what had been built up. You thought Devontae Adams was going to be a godsend, but then you hired McDaniels and look what he's done, right? So he won't call it a
if we're
rebuild,
honest,
it's a
like,
building, but you know, come on. So
if we're honest, Devontae coming to the team was a godsend. It's just he's not being used right. So
no.
Yeah, no, it's not the player. It's definitely not the player.
Yeah.
Because he's
No,
trying.
and who calls the plays? Josh McDaniels. So there's a problem.
Something needs to change for sure, obviously. But as we've reported, as we've seen, it's going to be at least a minimum 2 years of McDaniels in Oakland or no, Las Vegas, unless he does something like
I
crazy morally thing that voids his contract because they can't afford to pay him. You know, so
I mean, unless he does something like Urban Meyer, and cheats on his wife or something, then they're not going to
or
fire
some
him.
emails
See,
come
but
out.
it-
How
but
many
it
Raiders
wasn't
fans
even-
are looking through his emails looking for shit, right? So
remember, it wasn't even that he was cheating on his wife that caused him to leave the team. It was
No,
'cause he-
it's genius. Again, Mark Davis on this particular point is genius. He lets it leak out that they're cash poor. So now all the rich people in Vegas are going to help the white billionaire. They're going to be like, "Oh, cool, we'll start a GoFundMe." When there's people starving in the world, go fund me. They're like,
so
"All right,
funny to pay out his contract, right?
now here's the money. We'll pay out his contract. Now what? That's entirely plausible.
Yeah.
People go fund me for anything they truly believe in. Whether they should do it or not is another conversation. But yeah, you get big ass boosters in Vegas who have a lot of money and they want to see their team be good and they'll pay out his contract. I could absolutely see that happening. Yes.
All right. See what happens on this division matchup here. So, but I guess I'm the only one picking the Raiders on this.
You are.
No.
yeah.
No, I'm picking the
You're going
Raiders.
No. My
Jerry, you are
silly
too?
ass.
Yeah. They're
All right.
they're without Jerry Judy, so I don't know who Russ is going to throw it to.
You know that Cortland Sutton guy's pretty good.
He's all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if they throws it to anybody, please throw it to him. I have him in a fantasy league, so yeah, just
All
throw
right,
it to
there
that
you
guy.
go.
Denver has a good wide receiver core.
Yeah. All right.
Well, not only that, I mean, Denver has a good defense. So
That too. Yeah. That Patrick Surtain is like what, top 5 in the league now as a defensive back.
yeah, something like that. It's pretty good.
And the Broncos are playing much better than when they played last time. They're playing a lot better. They're not a good football team yet, bless their hearts, but they're playing better. They should be enough just to beat the Raiders.
Ooh, Texas.
We hope, right?
He's a Texan now. He's saying, "Bless your heart."
Bless your heart. Oh, so
Bless your heart. Yeah, no, it is the best Southern diss. I don't take y'all. I don't take anything else from Texas. But the best fucking Southern diss is bless your heart. Because people
It's,
take
it's
that
like
shit
when
like,
they tell you
you're amazing.
you go to Disney World and they say have a magical day. What they're really saying is go fuck yourself. You know, so it's
Pretty
think about
much,
that.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been there for 8 hours and they've served served people, snow cones and all kinds of other shit there for 8 hours. Yeah, had a magical day, you fucking bitch. Yeah, it's all good.
Just coming from Disneyland, we're grumpy as fuck. People are waiting online for hours. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I just want a bottle of water. They're waiting online for like 45 minutes. And I'm not saying it's okay to like treat them like shit, but it's understandable why they're frustrated.
All right.
Okay.
DJ, you're picking next on this one because your Cowboys are going into Minneapolis to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Dallas, surprisingly, at least to me, surprisingly, is favored by 2 on the road on this one. DJ, what you
I'm
got?
also surprised.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm surprised.
I'm very surprised. I'm taking the Vikings because the Cowboys don't have a run defense. And, I talked about this last week. The Bears ran for over 200 yards. The Packers ran for over 200 yards. That Dalvin Cook guy is pretty good. He just finished running for 119 yards against the Bills, who actually have a good defense. So I don't see the Cowboys winning this game because we can't stop the run.
All right. Nori.
I think earlier in the season, the Cowboys would win this matchup. But Vikings have really found their fucking stride. And the coach, I think is Kevin McConnell, I believe. He's letting Cousins take a lot more risks. And honestly, as a coach, I would let him take those risks because that Justin Jefferson dude can catch fucking anything. Like, that is the only win-win trade I've seen in the NFL is Diggs and Justin Jefferson. So I'm glad both teams are happy. The Vikings, where they're playing now, I think Dallas has the talent to beat them, but the Vikings are a super hot team, especially the confidence they came off by beating a possible Super Bowl contender. I think the Vikings win this.
All right, Rob.
Taking the Vikings. As much as most of their games have been against, losing record teams, like coming off coming off a win on the Bills, who were the favorites going into like at least midway through the season. Like that's just crazy. So taking the Vikings.
Yeah, Dallas struggled with Green Bay's running game. Minnesota's got a way better running game than Green Bay does. So that's just flat out what it is. So I'm definitely gonna go with the Vikings on this one at home here. And Chicken Wing.
I've been saying it all season.
Shut up,
Vikings is
copy
the most
pasta.
complete team currently, so I'm sticking with them still.
All right.
And just to throw this in there, this is not about the game. This is not about the game coming up, but just the Vikings Bills game. Game of the year candidate for sure.
For sure.
That was a fantastic game.
For sure.
Loved it.
Unbelievable that fumble snap. It turns into a touchdown, and somehow the Bills still go and tie it in overtime. Yeah.
Exactly. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it.
All right, and the final Sunday late afternoon game, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. With the Bengals favored by 5, does anyone think that Pittsburgh beats the Bengals here?
It'd be funny
Mike.
if they did.
Someone over there is a Pickett fan, I thought.
Yeah, Mike.
That'd be Chicken Wing.
I am a Pickett fan, but they ain't winning.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I like Pickett. I like his story and shit. Like, I hope he is going to be successful. But this is not week 2 Bengals. This is like week 11 Bengals, and they're not playing.
Yes.
So
Yeah, definitely a little hotter now. So, all right, the Sunday night game. This was a game that was flexed. The previous game we had just talked about, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, was the original Sunday night game. Was flexed up to the late afternoon window, and this game was flexed in its place. Kansas City at the LA Chargers, the LA away team, if you will. Making this for both of these matchups. Week 2, they played on a Thursday night game, prime time. Now they're on a Sunday night in prime time. And Nori, we'll start with you. Who you got in this one?
you know what doesn't work against the Chargers with electricity? Rubber, because the Chiefs are just gonna fuck them over and over and over for 4 quarters. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna pick the Chiefs, I think.
Oh boy! All right, Rob.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I don't know what games y'all have been watching to pick the Chargers. If any of y'all are crazy, but yeah, taking the Chiefs.
I'm not crazy, Rob. I've been watching the Chargers, and I don't think they have. A chance.
No, he's talking about the Yahoo Sports, about the 7.41%.
No, there's like 7% of people that actually believe LA has a chance. Like,
yeah, there's a difference. Rooting for your team and thinking they'll win are 2 very different things. I don't think America gets that.
Exactly.
Didn't they lose? Didn't the Chiefs lose to them earlier this season?
No, they didn't. But
No.
count
Okay.
me in that 7.4% because I said preseason I thought these teams were going to split.
Fucking
And I'm sticking with that.
you did no. Wait, no, he did say this.
I said
earlier
I
in
thought
the
they were
year.
going to split.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with that.
He
And
said
the
the
Chiefs
away
only
team-
won by 3 points when they first played. So
Hey, Chicken Wing, you remember JC? Every year, he's always surprised, and has a lead and he gives it up. You see a pattern?
I'm the one that
Shush.
said that.
We've talked about this a couple times.
Yes, we
I'm like,
did.
I would like to see JC win one of his leagues. He's in place. He's kicking our ass, and somebody else wins. And it's just so sad to see him go down this path yet again. Like the Chiefs is a gimme. The Chiefs is a goddamn gimme game. And what are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
am I doing
rooting-
because it's not that far off on the records wise, and this is a good matchup. It's a division thing. It's a division thing. These teams always play close, regardless of the records.
You feel free to do your.
Let
do
the
your,
man live his life, Nori.
yeah.
Let him
You feel free
live.
to
Saying,
do-
I said it
life.
preseason. I'm sticking with it. So
In the preseason, I think we all said that. We all thought they would
thought
like.
they split.
like
I still think that too, though. I'm not going back on that. I'm trusting my instinct on this one.
You
So.
you do that, homie. You do
All
that.
right. That's what I'm doing.
What
All
do
right,
you do?
DJ. Well, we all said it. I'm the only
Yeah,
one
I'm
that's right.
thinking-
So yeah.
I'm picking the Chiefs for
Okay.
sure. That I don't see the Chargers even coming within 2 touchdowns of the Chiefs.
Look, I'll be honest. If like the Chargers were healthier, I would maybe make this more of a coin flip.
Exactly.
Not healthy. Like,
No, that's no, me too. In the preseason, my God, this would have been like, oh man, I can't wait for this matchup. We all talked about that. We thought the Chargers would be Super Bowl contenders, but fucking both their wide receivers are hurt. Keenan Allen has teased me all year. Keenan Allen has played in 2 games this whole season. He's a major part of the Chargers offense, and you can see why they're not like that great. Like they're good, but not great. And the Chiefs are relatively healthy.
All right. So Chicken Wing.
Oh, you're the lone wolf, my guy. No,
That's fine.
fuck
I'll
you.
do it. So
No, sir.
I mean,
That's all
I mean.
he's got the games to give. He can be alone. That's fine.
That's
You know,
true.
maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. He's like, I could just fuck these guys. I'm ahead of them by like 4 or 5. So all right,
but
King.
if I'm right,
If you're right, then you go up 5. If you're
Yeah,
not, then
so-
we're down to 3. So it's all good. Go ahead.
we'll
You
go
do
to
you.
gamble, right? So
That's right.
all right. And finally, the Monday night game taking place in Estadio Azteca in Mexico City, Mexico DF. San Francisco, it says at Arizona. It's technically a home game for the Cardinals, but yes, it is a neutral site game. And the Niners are favored by 8. Chicken Wing, it's your team, your Niners. What you got?
I'm taking Arizona to cover the spread, but we're still winning.
Okay.
Oh, wait, so you're picking the 49ers to win?
Yeah,
for Niners
Niners
to
to
win.
win.
But
Okay.
we're not going to beat them by 8. That's for sure.
Okay. Nori.
There's no more powerful fan than especially Mexico City. There was 2 teams that I would never fucking pick against. The 49ers and the Raiders. I would never pick against either of those teams because of California, where everything is, Mexicans are strong with the Raiders and 49ers. No fucking
Bay
way,
Area
especially
influence.
yeah, no fucking way I'm gonna pick against them. Even if like they were even more injured than they are. I'm going with the 49ers.
All right, Rob.
Yeah, you know that Christian guy is kind of cool too. I'm going with the Niners.
Yeah, going with the Niners as well. I do think the like Chicken Wing said, they'll cover the spread, but Colt McCoy's going to keep this close and probably giving Chicken Wing a heart attack. But yeah, I still got the Niners pulling this one out, and this is probably going to be a really good game too. So, and DJ.
Say it.
I'm taking Christian McCaffrey.
Thank
Nah,
you.
bitch. Nah, bitch. Say it.
Thank
bitch.
you.
I like
That's what I'm
that.
doing. No, that's what,
I like that,
yeah,
DJ. I like
I'm
the
taking
workaround.
Christian
That
McCaffrey.
was nice.
Nice.
working well.
Thank you.
Good tech. Good tech.
That was a good workaround. I like that. I like that very much, actually.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You can
Yeah.
go fuck off.
As his name is still Tank for a new quarterback, but he's like wanting his team to win every. You can't with this guy. You really just can't.
He's very conflicted.
You really can. I mean, at some point you just have to give up and let him do him, and then just don't talk. Smile and laugh, and move on. That's what you got to do. That's it.
All right, thank you, everyone. That was our Week 11 predictions for the NFL season, and of course, next week when we talk about Week 12. Remember, there's not going to be any buys, but it is Thanksgiving week, so we might have our episode out a little earlier. We'll see, because
Tuesday,
of the
Wednesday.
Thanksgiving holiday. So, just FYI. And final thing I want to mention for those of y'all locally, we know we're in the San Antonio area. The San Antonio missions have been sold. Everybody,
No
it is official.
more.
They are
Wow.
now owned by a group of local investors, among them David Robinson and Manu Ginobili. So,
Hey.
How about that?
so interested to see how this works out with the franchise. I know there's been a lot of talk about building a brand new stadium versus remodeling the Wolf. Personally, I would like for them to remodel the Wolf and use that. You have the land, do it, and it's right down the road from where I live. It's easy for me to get to missions games. Because I don't know where the hell you're going to put a stadium downtown the way they talk. So, but I look at Round Rock as an example. The Express built a brand new stadium years ago. Plenty of room. We're able to expand it huge. It's one of the nicer stadiums in minor league baseball, and they have a AAA team out there now. If they're really trying to attract a AAA team, you have the room, you have the setting to do it. I think you could do it at the Wolf, but we'll see what they decide to do with this. But still, I'm happy that we're going to keep the missions in San Antonio. A group of local investors is a good sign, and really hope this keeps on going. Minor league baseball is pretty cool. It's always fun to see the next up and coming stars, and they do experiment with some rules like the pitch clock, which is going to be going into Major League Baseball as well. So Thanks for joining us. Next week, of course, we'll recap Week 11 and make our Week 12 predictions. And see if some of our outlandish picks, specifically mine, are good enough, or if we're going to be getting the standings a little bit closer this time. So, once again, I'm JC, your resident Titans fan. Joining me this week are
Chicken wing. Peace out, boys.
A very happy 7-2 Giants Nori. Go team, go.
Let's go, Tom Brady, 2-0, undefeated without Giselle. Oh yeah. DJ.
DJ here. Yes, Rob. Thank you. Rob.
He was looking at the
DJ
stats to see his name. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Forgot his name.
Looking forward to what type of compliment Mark Davis will give Josh McDaniels after he loses again this week.
any interesting
Any idea?
predictions on that? Yeah, that'd be tough. So
Yeah.
Nah.
He's already doing fantastic at 2-7, so at 2-8, I mean, what's phenomenal, right? Godlike. Maybe he's a godkin. I don't know.
Who knows? Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll catch you next week on the Sports Minorities podcast. And if you're watching the World Cup, remember, watch it with Spanish commentary. So much better. Stay safe out there, everyone. Thanks everyone once again for listening to the Sports Minorities podcast. We do appreciate it. If you want to keep the conversation going, we're on Twitter at SportsMinorPod and also on Facebook at Sports Minorities. Our YouTube channel, Sports Minorities. Search on there. We live stream every now and then, just some random stuff. And you can also reach us via email, sports.minorities@gmail.com. We do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to us, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Now, if you had 3 scenarios to pick from, you could have Tom Brady as a marriage counselor,
Oh, God.
right?
Mhm.
Jamarcus Russell as your franchise quarterback, Josh McDaniels making a seminar on success, or Deshaun Watson coaching a high school girls volleyball team.
Oh my God.
Now, which is the worst of these?